Preparation is in top gear now for the CAF election, but it seems like all is not completely well with African football.
I don't think there's any issue because the emergency committee actually did the yeoman's job. They met and took a decision that on the issue of eligibility and integrity that they will rely on, because if you are the president of FIFA, CAF, automatically become a vice president of FIFA. And if you are going for the FIFA Council, you will just be a ranking member of CAF. So they rely on the FIFA eligibility and security check, which of course indeed is more intense, is really, really intense. FIFA even outsourced it to some of the best intelligence organizations in the world. So, and the executive committee ratified that. So I don't think there's any issue coming out from that again, unless there's a motive that is ulterior.
You believe that because of the nature of this election, there are some things that you are uncomfortable about in terms of how you feel like it's being divided into the Anglophone and Francophone lines. Is that really, really true, in your opinion?
Yeah, I can see the vibe is tending towards that, which is quite pathetic, When I read ministers from two of the countries meeting and trying to say we want to adopt a candidate, some are saying, oh, we want to put up a strong West African bid, So to me, it's we are trying to make the same mistake we made 4 years ago.
Which is?
A fundamental mistake 4 years ago by electing Ahmad. And that mistake, we want to do it again. And that's it. Because we don't want to experiment. We experimented 4 years ago and look at what is at, where we are today. What I'm saying is in Africa, we have eggheads. We have people that can run and turn the tide. We're not just looking for football leaders, we're looking for also business leaders. And they are all over Africa, people with immeasurable success in their various endeavors. If you look at people that have held key football positions, how many of them were presidents of FAs? Avalanche wasn't. Sepp Blatter wasn't. Gianni Infantino wasn't. Has not been president of his federation. I can go on and on. Even Ayatu was not. He was in volleyball and athletics, So, but we only need the best brains at this point. Because if you look at CAF is struggling financially. I'm a member of the executive committee, I know that. So what do you need to do? You need to get somebody that has this business orientation, somebody that can turn the tide. And they're all over Africa.
Right now, you're beating your chest for Patrice Motsepe. You believe in his candidacy. You did the same thing in 2017 for the suspended CAF president, Ahmad. Do you feel or do you take responsibility for some of the failings or mistakes made by Ahmad?
Of course. You see, that's what I'm saying, that when you say somebody made a mistake, I'm not going to say that we're not part of it. But the reason why somebody like me can hold his head high is because I foresaw those things. I sat them down and I told him A to Z. And today, in most of those things have been vindicated. Because we came on a matter of change. So what was the change? And we didn't just come because at that point we knew we wanted a change, wanted a radical departure. Ayatu was not a bad man. He was quite conservative. Conservative, of course, is a terminology for sticking to certain principles. It doesn't make you a bad person. But we believe this world is dynamic. So we needed a leader with a lot of dynamism and innovative spirit. So at that point, the only person that came out to run, because then I was eligible, was Ahmad. To us, it was quite audacious, and we're very proud of the fact that he chested out. They made overtures to him countlessly. He refused. And that endeared him to a lot of us. And we went all out in ensuring that he won the election. Once he won the election, we started seeing so many things from the beginning. You can remember my famous letter. Go and read that letter again, and you will give me a thumb at the back, a pat in my back.
Do you actually believe that Patrice Motsepe can change the face of African football?
I beat my chest to say it. Listen, I didn't just wake up one morning to say I want to support Patrice.
But the truth here is a lot of people out there believe he's a FIFA man. Do you really agree with that?
What is wrong with that? Even if I know fundamentally he's not a baby, what is wrong with being a FIFA's man? Who is not a FIFA's man? Tell me.
Is he a FIFA candidate?
No. FIFA doesn't have any candidate. Everybody, FIFA. Why do you mean FIFA will have a candidate? It's no. They were throwing it that Yaya Ahmed was the FIFA's candidate. I read an interview yesterday. Senghor said, "Oh, he met with the FIFA leadership. Does it make him a FIFA candidate?" So FIFA doesn't have a candidate, but FIFA still pretends football at the global level, and you should know that whoever wins is coming as the vice president of FIFA.
Yeah.
So FIFA will definitely show interest.
What do you think is the biggest struggle facing African football?
Integrity. Integrity encapsulates everything. Once you have integrity, every other factor is secondary. If you have integrity, you will not look at ethnicity. If you have integrity, you will not look at linguistic difference. If you have integrity, you don't look at religious bigotry. If you have integrity, integrity means 100%.
So the head of African football that will decide in Morocco in March, if they are listening to you now, what are you saying to the conscience of those people who are going to vote and who are going to decide the future of African football?
They should think Africa. They should think Africa. Thinking Africa, to me, sounds, it's like some kind of calculated ambiguity, but think Africa. When you think Africa, you think of the future of Africa. What do I mean by that? When somebody mounts that saddle of responsibility, what change can it bring? Let us look at his pedigree. What has he done before? To me, that's it. So I'm not going to sit here to condemn anybody or to pat anybody on the back. No. Senghor is my brother and friend. He has done well for Senegalese football, but he can do better. We are waiting for them to win the Nations Cup. Jakanuma is an excellent guy. I've always respected him. To me, he should be in the Hall of Fame. And that's it. At this point, you know, Yaya is an excellent guy. He's a guy of the future. He's somebody that I love. We're in the same committee. He knows. Patrice is my choice, my candidate. And the reason I believe he can change this, because I'm a businessman. I know what that does for football.